The mark of man. The Valley of Urdaibai is located on the coast of Vizcaya and has been declared by UNESCO as a biosphere reserve. It is a unique and privileged place inhabited not only by man, but also by a wide variety of animal and vegetable species. Man has lived here in perfect harmony with nature since prehistoric times. Gernika is located right in the middle of this natural paradise. Under the shade of its sacred oak, ever since medieval times, the lawyers of various towns in Vizcaya would meet to discuss political, economic and social issues. Even the kings of Castile came to Gernika to swear fidelity to the codes of laws of Vizcaya. With the loss of the Basque codes of law in the 19th century, Gernika became, even more than before, the symbol of the Basque liberties and of its ancestral democracy. Gernika was of great spiritual importance to all the Basque people. In 1937, Gernika was still a peaceful town of barely 5,000 inhabitants. A cozy atmosphere where people went about their daily lives. This apparent sense of peace was deceptive. Spain was at war. The army, under the command of Generals Franco and Mola, had revolted against the democratically elected government of the Republic. Soon, the war reached the Basque Country, and the siege on Vizcaya was closing in.
Once the Battle of Guadalajara is over, Franco's general staff see no immediate need to take Madrid. The northern region becomes a prime objective, and General Mola designs the strategy, which is to take control of the border and then advance through Guipuzcoan territory and on to Bilbao. This region is considered to be of vital interest, not only because of strategic border control, but also because of the industrialization of the area. In fact, Durango is to be the first city where an aerial bombing raid is to be carried out. The first civilians begin to die.
José Antonio Aguirre took the oath of office as first president of the autonomous Basque Country within the Spanish Republic under the sacred oak of Gernika. The front was closing in, and in the attack on Gernika, strategic objectives were confused, leading to an attack against the symbol of the Basque people and the rehearsal of aerial warfare on the part of the German Air Force.
On the 26th of April, the first bombing by the Condor Legion takes place. This attack is, in effect, a rehearsal of what is to become a systematic series of bombings during World War II. The tactic used at the bombing of Gernika is a combined tactic involving a series of high explosive bombs, incendiary bombs, and even worse, the indiscriminate machine gunning of civilians. In short, a cold-blooded war, which remains in the memory of its survivors, not only as images of destruction, but especially as images of fire.
Victoriano Uruburu still works on his farm on the outskirts of Gernika, where he was born 78 years ago, and where he was when the bombing began, while his mother was at the market selling their produce.
At 3 o'clock, the siren. Ding dong, ding dong. I wasn't worried. The planes were far away. We weren't nervous. They were taking off from Mendizorroza, from Vitoria. But after a while, the siren was getting louder. They're coming this way. The plane turned around. About there. By Santa Maria. And bang! What was that? A terrible explosion. They tried to hit the bridge, but they missed. There was a huge hole. My father said, "Joaquin, go and get your mother." 2 minutes later, I was in Gernika. People were running all over the place. There was complete confusion. People were shouting, "To the shelter, to the shelter." We ran away from there. "Follow me, mother."
A woman started to shout, "You bastards! You're killing innocent people down there!" I'll never forget that pilot's goggles in that diving plane. No, I'll never forget it. That's how the machine gun sounded. She was killed there.
One thing I'll never forget were those little bombs fitted with boxes on the back of them. And when they came down and hit the houses burst into flame. And it was a very blue-looking flame.
After we'd crossed the Renteria Bridge, there was total chaos. Everyone was shouting, "Where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? They've killed so-and-so! They've destroyed my house!" It was a screaming mess. I still shudder at the thought of it. Everyone was running, screaming. From there we went to the lime trees. My whole family was there. Arantxa, my sister, who was a nurse, was covered in red, in blood. She told me it wasn't hers, but that she'd seen some terrible things at the hospital. I found my father a bit further up. He was sitting down, his head in his hands. I stood right in front of him, but he didn't even notice me. Later on, he told me that he'd seen 2 Basque soldiers and 3 women killed by machine gun fire in the ditch where he was. But he was the only survivor. He was shattered.